Hi friends, welcome to the new series Angular Hero to Superhero. If you are a beginner trying to learn Angular, there is another series Angular Zero to Hero in which I have explained all the basic concepts. You can find the link in the description. In this series, Angular Hero to Superhero, I am focusing on advanced concepts. As part of the basic course, I have explained about routing and how it works. In this video, I am going to explain about router guards. Angular route guards are interfaces provided by Angular which when implemented allow us to control the accessibility of a route based on condition provided in class implementation of that interface. This definition seems to be confusing, but if you look closely you can understand. Router guards are interfaces provided by Angular. We can implement that interface and in that implementation we can mention some condition and route based on that condition. For example, sometimes you want users to navigate based on some specific condition, such as whether the user is logged in or not. We can use route guards for that purpose. There are 5 different types of guards: CanActivate, CanActivateChild, CanLoad, CanDeactivate, and Resolve. I'm going to explain all these using an example. Let's start. I have created an Angular application, created some components, and added some codes to have a basic navigation between pages. Server has been started and running, and so I can show you the preview. When the application is started, it will land on the home page. And I can click this to go to products page. In products page, I'm showing some data which is coming dynamically. And I can click this to go to about page. In about page, I can click this link to show another component. And then I can click this link to go to the contacts page where I have a form. And I can click this to go to offers page. Actually, this is a separate module, a lazy loaded module. Hope you know what is lazy loader module. Let me quickly explain. If I inspect and go to network tab and then if I reload the application, we can see few files getting downloaded. Let me clear this and go to some other page. If I go to about or products pages, we can see nothing is downloaded because they have been already downloaded into the browser. But if I go to offers page, we can see this module is getting downloaded. It won't be downloaded until it is requested. This is the advantage of lazy loaded module. Finally, I can also go to admin page. Let me also explain the code in high level. In app component, I have a header and a router outlet. In header, I have all the links, and when each link is clicked, I'm routing the user to the respective page. In app routing module, you can see how it is configured. For about route, I'm having a child route to load edit about component. And in about component HTML, you can see a router outlet to load this child route. That is why when I click edit link, you can see the edit component is getting loaded below. And you can see I'm using load children to load the offers module. So this will be loaded on demand. Okay, this is about my code setup. Let me explain how we can guard our routes. First, let us start with CanActivate route guard. Right now the user is allowed to go to admin page. But assume we need to allow only the user having admin role to go to admin page. We can control this in the header component. Let me introduce a new variable user role to hold the role of the user. This may be coming from backend as part of your authentication response. For now, let me hardcode. And in the go to admin function, I can check the role, and if it is admin, I can route the user to the admin page. Or else I can route it to the access denied page. Let me test this. From home page, I can go to admin page. And if I change the role to user, and if I click admin page, now I am getting routed to the access denied page. So this is working, but our route is not secured fully. User having non-admin role can still access the route by directly changing the route URL, like this. This is why we need route guard. To be specific, CanActivate route guard. Let me create one. Route guards can be created using Angular CLI, using ng, g, and a guard name. Here I am going to give it as auth, and I wanted to create the guards inside services folder. So I can give it as services/auth. It is asking me to choose the interface. Let me choose CanActivate. Now our guard has been created. We can see it is implementing the CanActivate interface and use the CanActivate function, which returns true. I can change this implementation. Let me introduce the user role here And before returning true, I can check if the user role is not equal to admin. I can route the user to access denied page. And now we can remove this code from here. It is not needed. And finally, we need to mention this in the app routing module. So for the admin route, I can introduce CanActivate and mention the route guard we created. That's it. Let me test it. If I click admin link, I'll be taken to the admin page. If I don't have admin role, and if I click admin link now, I'll be taken to the access denied page. Even if I try to access the admin route through the URL like before, I'll be routed to the access denied page. So our route is secured now. This is how we can use CanActivate. Now let us see about CanActivateChild. Let me go to the About page. Here we have a child route. To guard this route, I can use CanActivate like this. But when I use it like this, we can see it is getting routed to the parent route routlet. But we can change this implementation to show a pop-up instead of routing and show some custom messages. But if we have more routes inside this parent route, we need to specify this to all the routes. But we have another option, CanActivateChild. Let me create one quickly using CLI. This time, let me give ng and the guard name as role. And I'm going to choose CanActivateChild interface. Guard has been created. In the guard, let me change the implementation. This time, if the user role is not equal to admin, let me show an alert and then returning false. Let me also add this in the router module. Instead of specifying individually in each child route, I can specify in the parent route using CanActivateChild. Like this. Let me test. Okay, I cannot access the edit page. But if I am an admin, I can access. This is how CanActivateChild works. Let's see about CanDeactivate route guard. Let me go to contact page. Right now, from contact page, user can navigate to any other page freely. But assume that you need to warn the user about navigating away from this page. So here we can use the CanDeactivate guard. Let me create one using CLI. ng services / let me name it as not complete. Okay, guard has been created. Let me change the implementation. Right now it is simply returning true. Let me introduce a confirm box to collect the user input. And based on the response from user, I'm going to decide whether to return true or false. Let me also configure this in the app routing module like this, and let me test it once. I can go to contacts page. From there, if I try to navigate to any other page, I'm getting an alert asking me whether I need to navigate away. If I click cancel, I'll be staying in the same page. And if I click OK, I'll be allowed to go to the new page. This is how CanDeactivate works. Let's move to CanLoad. CanLoad implementation is somewhat similar to CanActivate. CanActivate guard the individual component, but CanLoad decides whether to load the entire module or not. Let me quickly create one CanLoad guard using CLI. Module guard is created. Let me change the implementation. And in app routing module, let me configure this for offers route. And let me test this once. When I click the offers link, I'll be taken to the access denied page. Here, let me inspect and show you whether the module is getting loaded or not. So if I click, we can see it is routed, but the module itself is not loaded. Let me change the role to admin. Now we can see the offers module is getting downloaded. This is how CanLoad works. Okay, let's move to the last one, resolve guard. To create a resolve guard, I couldn't see a provision in CLI. So let me copy the auth guard we created and change it as per our need. Let me name this as resolve guard. And instead of implementing CanActivate, let me implement resolve interface. For this, we need to specify the type and let me change the CanActivate function to. URL tree is not needed. Router is not needed. And in constructor, let me inject the data service and return the observable from the data service. And let me specify this guard in the app routing module also. Finally, in the products component, instead of getting directly from the data service, I can inject the activated route and subscribe to it. Like this. So if I go to products page, we can see the data. You may ask, what is the difference? Why do we need this approach when we can simply invoke this on init? Let me explain. Right now in data service, the data is getting returned immediately, and so we are not seeing any change. But in typical application, this data comes from a backend, and so there may be a delay in returning the data. Let me mark that up using a delay. And in products page, let me go to the previous implementation and test it. If I go to products page, the route is immediately going to the products page, and then it is waiting for the data, and then once data is arrived, it is showing in the screen. But with resolve guard in place, if I go to products page, we can see after I click, the route is not getting activated until we receive the data. And once we get the data, the page is routing to products page. So if we have a requirement to show some data ready before the page actually loads, we can use resolve guard. This is how resolve guard works. I hope you understand all the route guard implementation now. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and support me. I'll be back with another concept soon. Thank you. Bye.